think this is the right green I need. I don't know. So I'm going to apply it and hopefully it looks right. This is a very full bottle. And it's not shaking too much. Okay, hopefully that's good. I gotta wipe this thing. I need a napkin. Okay. So I want to talk to you like I'm talking to my best friend on a video call. I want to talk to you as if I'm talking to that person so that I come off more casual, because truth be told, I don't like putting on the performance of, oh, now I'm doing social media, you know, now I've got to put on an act. So I like to be casual, I like to be formal, but I don't know how to be formal, or no, informal. I don't know how to be casual in front of a camera because, well, the camera is simply a device. It's a lens, and I find it hard to be authentic like I'm talking to a person, like I'm talking to a human being. I'm very in my zone here, alone, and so I don't know how to speak to a person when I don't have a person in front of me. So that's my trick, is today to speak to you as though I am speaking to my best friend on a video call. So, hey, what I'm doing today is I'm just going to paint because I got a lot of stuff to do. I got these legs are going to go, these are pieces, and I'm going to paint. They are the legs that go on Corndog, which is probably the first talking point that I have for you, because I have a few talking points that I've stacked up over the weeks that I haven't made videos for you because I've been busy. Gabby's been busy. She's not here right now. So it's a one-person operation here. So I help out and paint whenever I can. But painting is not necessarily my strong suit, especially the details, which is a big reason why I design the characters as simply as I do, because I remember not only that my wife is going to be the one painting them, and I care about her and her sanity, but if I had to step in and paint these things, how easy is it going to be on me? Because I don't like painting. I don't mind it, but there are a lot of other things that I want to get done, which I'll touch on at the end of this video. It's kind of like the last talking point, I think, or close to the end, basically. But because I have a lot to get done, I'm multitasking here. I'm making this video at the same time as painting because it's just stuff that's got to get done. And I got to play the social media game if I want to have a successful business and brand and actually sell a thing to pay the bills. So here we go. First talking point, Corndog. Corndog went to the Texas State Fair. And if you hear noise in the background, don't mind that. That's my washer and dryer going in the background. But basically, Corndog, we sent a big one. We sent a big boy. We printed them out, not this size. This is the smallest size. So that's the legs. The bigger size is like that. His leg comparison, I guess one of his legs is about that big. So we sent a big boy to the State Fair for the arts and crafts contest that the Texas State Fair does. I don't know if I wet this brush. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. We sent Corndog to the Texas State Fair to be judged in their arts and crafts contest. And the winners there, anybody who places, is displayed throughout the duration of the State Fair. And we didn't know how we were going to do. We were hoping, like first, second, third place. That's really cool. If they get a ribbon, they get put on display for all the attendees at the State Fair. And we thought that was cool. So we tried. Very low cost to entry on that. So we were like, hey, why not? Why not print out a big corn dog, send it to the State Fair, because that just makes sense. Corn dogs in the State Fair. So we did that, and we waited for judgment to see what the judges at the State Fair said. And weeks went by, and we got the verdict, and we found out we did not place first, second, or third. Corndog did not win first, second, or third place trophy. Instead, Corndog got an honorable mention, an HM. And I did not know what that meant. I knew HM was probably honorable mention, but I did not know, like, does that mean like it's a win? You know, is that a winning category denomination here? Does that mean, like, do we need to pick it up because we didn't place? So I emailed them, and I found out from the state fair that an honorable mention is technically a winning entry to them. So honorable mentions do get displayed at the state fair. So you're going to see Corndog on display wherever. I don't know the details honestly, but it's at the state fair and next to other winning entries in the arts and crafts contest. So that's pretty cool. We got Corndog at the state fair. I mean, it's just fitting. So I'm glad that he he didn't get first, second, or third, which it's fine, perfectly fine. But I'm glad that is at least going to be displayed at the state fair. It just made sense to me. A Corndog at the state fair. So if he didn't get placed or he didn't get displayed at the state fair, I would have thought that was a missed opportunity. But apparently the judges at the state fair have a sense of humor. So cool. So Corndog's at the state fair. He's a big boy. He's going to be a big one, or he is a big one. And that is another point I'm going to make here in a second. Check this guy out. Check him out. Check out our boy. So this is not Corndog, obviously. This is Hedgehog. He's a hedge. He's a hog. So he's a hedgehog. But this is about the size of the Corndog that's at the state fair. The unique thing is that there's no base. He's free. He's like the character. It sits there. Like he's not like a turn you over type thing. Like he is what he is truly without the base. He's like unbound by his platform. So I think that's really cool. So this is about the size of the Corndog that's at the state fair. This is Hedgehog. And so I want to do more of these, but I want to gauge like interest. I want to gauge like, how likely are you actually to like want one of these, and how much are you willing to spend on this? Like what's a comfortable price point for something like this? What's an outlandish price point? Like what price are you willing to say like, wow, that's way more like bang for my buck. I'm like surprised that it's so cheap that I'm getting this. And then what's like an outlandish price that you're like, ooh, like I'm not, like I'd be remiss, like I don't want to pay that much for something like this. Like what's that price point? What's your low and what's your high range, so I can get a gauge? And what's a comfortable range? Like what are you willing to spend on this that you're like, okay, cool, good value, like I'm comfortable, because I want these to be on the table because they're so cool. Like they're so cool to see big, and I have to re-engineer them to actually print without the base. And since they're so big, I can't make them solid like the smaller versions are. The smaller versions are solid. So this is it's actually hollow. You can't really tell because he's got a thick wall. He's got a thick wall all around him. So basically, he's a big hollow print that I had to re-engineer. So the legs go in. The nose fits right, like everything has to be like changed up a little bit so that they're actually like this. But anyway, that's my concern. I'll figure out how to do that. But I want to do this for all the characters. I just wanted to know. I want to know if you're interested in these. I'm gonna put him back. So yeah, that was Corndog at the state fair, and bigness, big literal puns. So the big articles. That is the first talking point. Second talking point. So this one's kind of interesting. I'll try to keep it short because I have a lot of thoughts on this one. But we just did an event, or we just held a booth at an event. That's my dryer. Has a little cute little tune. We just did an event, Reapercon, in Denton, Labor Day weekend. So that was the end of August, beginning of September, and I have a lot of thoughts on that because our last event, which was, or the event prior to that was QuakeCon, and that one gave me a sense of certainty. Like, we had an idea here. People like this. We have a fun idea that people want, and they want these things in their home, and they want to tell people about them, and these are cool. And that gave me a sense of certainty there. What Reapercon gave me, and I'll tell you a little bit about Reapercon. It is a miniature painting. It is like a convening of people. It is it's a convention, a convening of people who are in the hobby of miniature painting. And this event was different because I had heard about it, but I didn't know much about it leading up to it. So it was kind of like I don't know how it's going to be, and I wanted to make a video promoting it, but I didn't know many details about it. So I wanted to. I was a little back and forth on going into it because I know it's a miniature painting convention. And what we do here is we paint our own minis, and these are miniatures, and I thought we were going to fit right in. At the same time, I didn't know how well we would fit in because, we 3D print our figures. These are resin printed. I use Blender. There's a lot of things that we've been doing on our own and learning as we go that we haven't had industry experience in. So I didn't know if we were going to be I had this weird irrational fear that this is an actual industry or something, and then they were going to judge us harshly on our creations because they're not standard or something. So I had all these self-talk things going on leading up to it. Also at the same time there was really professional miniature painters there that they paint high detail. These minis are award-winning. I didn't really grasp or comprehend how expansive and also how narrow and in depth the hobby and world of miniature painting and tabletop miniatures is. It's because I'm new to it. I'm new to doing this since we started doing our own thing. I didn't grow up with tabletop miniatures. I didn't grow up playing board games too much. So getting into board games and getting into tabletop minis is a new thing. So I didn't know what to really expect, but we went and it was really cool. Like I said, I have a lot of thoughts on this. But basically the event felt cozy. It felt comfortable. It felt, the weirdest way I can describe it is it felt kind of like extended family. It felt like I was comfortable being around these people, just being me, without trying to put on airs, without trying to make a show of our booth. It felt like we were just there amongst the people who were attending. There was not really a separation between vendors and attendees. It felt like everybody there was doing the same thing. Everybody there was a 3D printer. Everybody there was a model painter. Everybody there was trying to figure out the best resin ratios, and they have 3D printers at home. They've messed with them, or they're expert at them. They're amateur at them. Everybody's just enjoying the time there, and it didn't feel like there was a separation between vendor and attendee. It seemed like everybody was welcome there to be themselves, and everybody kind of understood what everybody was doing there. And it was just a different con experience that just felt homey. It felt good. It felt cozy. It felt comfortable. It felt like the people there were just there to have a conversation They weren't there to compete. They weren't there to try to convince you to sell anything. Like, everybody was just there to have fun, and it was very chill. And it was a 4-day event, and it was just 4 days of just comfort. Just comfort, not discomfort. It was 4 days of just comfort. So I liked Reapercon, and what it showed me was something different than what I learned from QuakeCon, which was, we don't just have a viable product. You know, we don't have something that we can sell and that I'm confident about. What we have, we were welcomed to, like, put my earlier irrational fears away. We were welcomed. People really enjoyed what we had. We were not doing the same thing as everybody else. I felt like we stood out in a different way, in that our miniatures, they come painted, which some other people, they had painted miniatures, nothing different about that. But what we were offering was, you know, these are literal puns. These are like a figure, but it's not simply a figure that is designed to sell you on the details of the sculpt, or like how skilled I am at sculpting, nor is it a figure that's meant to sell you on like how well it's painted. These are simple, very simple shapes put together. These are very low detail paint, and so you would think, in a room full of people who pride themselves on skill and craftsmanship and how well, like, you know, award-winning miniature hobbyists are out there. I don't know, I just felt like going into it that I would be judged harshly because I wasn't taking this seriously. But I think that's what helped us do well there, was we are not trying to take the hobby seriously. We're just having fun with this. And the fun part is what was the draw for people coming to the booth and then coming back to the booth. And some people we had seen at different conventions too, and they recognized us, we recognized them. Very fun. So it was pretty cool that we had that fun aspect, that we weren't really competing with people on like skill and detail. It felt like we were like standing out in a certain way, and we were one of those booths, like, if you know, you know type thing. It was pretty cool. But basically, another big takeaway from Reapercon was that there were so many independent creators out there, so many independent studios that were creating their own models, creating their own designs, creating their own figures. And there were a lot of them that are like this, like one person, two people, very small organizations that are trying to make it, are trying to, you know, just pay their bills, trying to there's a lot of small teams just doing the same thing we're doing, is just trying to, you know, just make it with these things. What they were doing, though, unique, though, that we're not doing yet, is a lot of them had like skirmish games and stories and worlds and universes where their models and sculpts and characters lived, and we don't have that yet. So that's one big thing that I took away from Reapercon, is that you don't need a big team. You don't need a massive, like, large-scale organization and business to come up with your own lore and game, story, universe for your characters. So that's what I want to do with these guys, and that's been on the back of my mind. It's in the back burner. I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, at all times, of what I'm going to do with these characters and how they live. What kind of world do they live in? How do they live and breathe? What kind of mechanics would they have in a game tabletop or otherwise. Like, just how do they interact with each other? Why do they exist? And so on and so forth. Like, what's the lore? And I've been thinking about that for a long time, but I think Reapercon really hit home for me that I can totally have a legitimate business at the scale we're at and be successful doing what we're doing. There's just a lot of things that I'm not doing that they are doing, that they're doing well, and I want to get in on that. And I don't know, it was a really good and settling con for me. It was a good feeling to walk away with. It was like, okay, I don't need to be in such a hurry to rush past these characters. Like, these characters to me were in the beginning a way to sell my skills as a 3D modeler, so I can get work, so I can get hired to not make these, but to make work for other people, commissions and such. And that's what I had invented these things in the first place for, was like a calling card, was to advertise my service. I do business as Hairebrained Design. Hire me. Remember the guy who made you laugh. Remember the funny puns. He happens to do 3D modeling, so hire him if you have 3D modeling needs. That was my beginning mindset when I started making these things, because I wanted to make something that was different. Like, I wanted to differentiate myself in a competitive market landscape, and so I was, reading all the business books and following podcasts and stuff, and that was the advice. Differentiate yourself, do something that's uniquely and authentic you that nobody else can recreate. So that's essentially how these were born. These were like unique to me. I love puns and dad jokes, and they make me giggle and laugh, and I want to be a 3D modeler. So I was like, how can I combine the two, 3D modeling and puns? And that's eventually how I landed on my designs. It's like, how can I design something that's punny, because I just love that, and somehow combine that with 3D modeling. Anyway, they were a way to sell my skills, to advertise me, and I find that these characters, day after day, event after event, are taking on their own like way of life. They are meaning something to people that I did not know that they were going to mean to people. They were meant to like mean something to me, like special. They were a pun, and I love puns, but also each one has its own special meaning that I assign to it, so they can stand as reminders for me, artistically, emotionally. Like, they're special to me. Each one means a certain thing. Like, we'll take Spike here. Corndog. His nickname, his alias is Spike. Because Spike is like a typical, like, kind of like a funny dog name, like Spike, but also Spike is, you could use Spike as the term for an ear of corn. I pointed to my ear. An ear of corn. They are described as like spikes coming from a stalk of corn, a corn stalk. Like, the spike that comes off the corn stalk is the ear of corn. So you can describe that as a spike of corn. So it's a play on words there. But the special meaning that Spike has for me is pause and harvest, which means it's a reminder for me, literally, like what he's supposed to do as he sits there on a desk or a shelf, is to remind me sometimes to take a moment to pause and harvest. Like, harvest all the wins that I've done. Like, I have a hard time taking a moment and harvesting all that I've done a lot of times, that I just like blow past certain things. Like, I accomplish something and then I just move on. I don't celebrate it. So he's a reminder for me to pause and harvest those wins and those things that I've done and how I've gotten here. So I guess each one's got like a meaning like that. If you go to the website, you'll see the one-liner for each one that I've put, and they all have a certain meaning for me. Anywho, I did not know that they were going to mean something to other people in the ways that they have. Like, people like Corndog, simply because I heard a story that somebody had a dog at home that they just called Corndog. But he's not like a weenie dog. He's He's not a small dog. He's a big dog. He's like a lab, but they call him Corndog because it's just, you know, maybe his coloring, and they just like calling their dog little Corndog because maybe he was yellow and yellowish, and they call him Corndog. So that's what Corndog meant to them. And there was somebody else who bought a waffle iron from us as a trophy to symbolize a win in a lawsuit. It was wild. I was like, how, like, I did not expect people to like these things for the emotional attachment, like not only just the funniness of them, but like what they represented to them on a deeper level. A lot of people like chicken noodle because they have a relative who likes chickens, or they themselves like chickens, or, you know, chickens like their favorite food or something like that. And it's just wild to me that I hear all the stories of what these characters, little things that we make, sorry. It's wild to me to hear the stories that are attached to these little characters that we make here that I did not anticipate. And so, like I said, these things are taking on a life of their own, and I want to respect and honor that life by spending more time on them and not trying to blow past what we've created here. And so I want to spend more time on the lore, on the story, on the interactions, on the history of where these things come from. So that's why I said I got a lot of talking points. I got a lot to say about Reapercon in that way, because a lot of the vendors there had their own characters and their own skirmish games and their own lore and their own universe and fantasies and stories and things that they were sharing with the world. And I thought that was just really cool, and I wanted to do something similar. So that's Reapercon kind of did that for us. It did that for me personally. I know for Gabby, I can't speak for her, but for Gabby, I know that there was a lot of painting takeaways there. There was a lot of skill in the house in that convention of model painters who were very skilled at their craft, and I know that Gabby learned a lot. Yeah, so I think we both kind of like leveled up in a certain way. But again, I can't speak for her too much, but she's not here right now. Anywho, it was a really cool con. And I'll move on from Reapercon because I could talk about that endlessly. The next thing, I haven't made a video on this specifically to announce to people, but spooky season is here. And I don't mean that by like fall and autumn and Halloween is coming, but I mean that's the alias for our newest character. Spooky season. I don't want to spoil it. I'll leave it there. If you know, you know, and if you've seen him before at conventions, because he's relatively new, I don't want to spoil what spooky season is. But spooky season, hang on, I'll give you one, let me paint this leg and I'll show you. But that is the latest article that is on the website right now, latest creation, and I just haven't made a video on him yet to announce that. Because again, I get busy and I don't like to do the whole production of social media videos. So hopefully I can do more stuff like this in my announcements and so on and so forth. Let me get him. So say hello to spooky season. So this is a bigger one, just to give you an idea. But here's a smaller one. This is spooky season. And you can probably figure out what he is. And if you got it, you got it. You can comment and everything, but don't, I don't know, don't spoil it for everybody else, but, some people might like that. Anywho, that's spooky season. And, yeah, so that he's out. He's out on the website. You can go check him out. He's got the special meaning attached to him. He's got the photos. The reveal on the bottom is there. I'm not going to show you, but, yeah, so this is the latest one that I wanted to tell you about. So yeah, that's another talking point. And to go along with spooky season, hang on, before I start painting this one, I gotta show you I gotta get my other prop for the story. So to go along with spooky season, I designed the earrings for spooky season. So here's the line of earrings I've been working on. This is another announcement. I've been working on these earrings for the first half of the year, so like January to like July. I was working on making all these earrings. And what I've done is I've broken apart the pun for each one. So like there's corn, and then where's he at? There's a dog, so that's Corndog. I've got chicken, and I've got noodles right there. And I've got a pan, and I've got a tree for pantry. I've got street and taco for street taco. I've got spring and a break for spring break. So that's what the earrings are about. They're still punny. They're still pun related, but they're also designs that I've created of just random things in my own stylized way. And so this one is related to spooky season, and so is this one. I'm not going to say their names out loud. You could probably guess what they are now and put it together, but this one here, these little spooky guys, these little dudes just sold out at QuakeCon. Y'all wiped us out like day one. They did the same thing on, well, we prepared a little bit more for Reapercon, but they went. And we only came home with like one of them, and I think it was like the display model. But basically, those earrings are very popular. And so there's only one of them in inventory right now, I think, for the website. So if you wanted to purchase one, it's the only one. Anywho, we're making more of those, and I'm going to go put these back. But here's a full rack of those earrings that are in the works. So you can see Gabby's already painted. She does the details. So like I painted the white, but Gabby comes home and she does the small details, because that's just not me. And all these back here still need that detail. So these are the earrings that we're working on to replenish our stock, because these things are just, I did not know that they were going to be so popular, but they're super popular. So once these are up on the website, I'll probably post another video or something like this to tell you. But these are out. So yeah, earrings, along with the latest article that I've been working on. Earrings is something that I've been working on this year to go along. So that is also like, I haven't really done too many new articles lately. Spooky season's like the first one in months, because I was working for months on the earrings, and that took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to be like, maybe a 1 month project or something. I made like 24 or something like designs, I think. I don't know. Basically, I have like, give or take, I have like, at the time I had 12 characters, 12 articles. And if you split those up, you get 12 articles split to double, basically. 2 earrings for each character is about 24. So I did 24 models over the course of 6 months, I think. And the whole time, honestly, I was beating myself up because I wasn't going faster. Because I was like, these are simple. These are so small. These shouldn't be that difficult. If I'm going to be a successful 3D modeler, I should be better, I should be faster. Just shooting all over myself. Shooting myself in the foot. But that is something that was going through my head while I was making them, because I spent like months, and it felt like it dragged on for a long time, and I was just ready to be done with the project. But I was crossing them off steadily, one design after another, but I couldn't tell you about them because I wanted to release them all at the same time. And yeah, so anyway, they are out. It took me months to do that, and I wanted to just actually announce that, hey, we have earrings. I did like a small post, and we've kind of like told you about them here and there, but they are a thing. They are in our inventory, and they are related to the characters in that way. And they're pretty popular. They're doing well. People like the earrings, so it's cool that we have something that's like at a lower price point, business-wise, you know, but also it's cool that we have more inventory that's not just figurines that like require you to stop and take some time out of your day to figure out. Like, you can actually like see the earring and just know what it is. Like, and I'm glad that I have spent the time in designing those, because it made me faster on designing in Blender. It made me a quicker 3D modeler. Also, painting wise, like not just 3D, but painting these things. I got better at painting. I don't leave it all up to Gabby anymore. Used to. And I was like, hey, you are the painter, I'm the modeler. But I learned how to model very simply in a very quick to paint way. I made all of the earrings like easy to paint for me because I don't like painting. So I was like, if I have to paint these things, because we're gonna have a lot of them, if I have to paint them, I'm going to design all of them with that parameter. Like it has to be, the condition has to be, they have to be easy to paint and quick to paint. So I made them all like 3 colors maximum. Even like 3 colors is too many colors. Like I like for them to be 1 to 2 colors. That way it's just slap on a base color and then do the accent color and you're done. Not all of them are like that, but for the most part I think we accomplished that goal of making them simple and getting the idea across of what they are, and they also relate to the puns that we sell. So it checked a lot of boxes. I guess if I'm looking back on that project, I guess I should pause and harvest and give myself some credit here and some grace to say, you know, you did a months long project, John, and you did well. It accomplished the goal and it's doing well in person. So yeah, earrings are a thing. I didn't think I was going to be an earring designer when I started out doing this, but who knows where life takes you when you decide to chase a dream. You never know. So that's pretty cool. Anywho, after the earrings, what's my next talking point? Okay, so this goes back to what I was mentioning earlier about wanting to have more time to do things because I do so much. So painting, making a video at the same time. In order to get more time on my hands, I want to know from you, because this sounds like a good idea in theory in my head, what do you think about us going seasonal? Like a seasonal rotating menu with the characters. So what I mean by that is like the best kind of vague idea I have in my mind is to make the characters quarterly and have a quarterly rotating menu. So like January through March, April through June, and then July, August, September, so on. The 4 quarters of a year, following a quarterly calendar, where in that quarter we only release like maybe 3 or 4 of our characters throughout the year. That way it's manageable for us to actually make these things, to supply the demand that might be there, and to innovate and make new characters. So I can make the 3 characters that we already have available ready for that season, and then make another one to like cap off the season, so that it gives me more time to design and make all of the list of hundreds of puns that I have ready to go that I just don't have time to actually model. I feel like that would give me back more time to model and make more new characters in the future, and then we can have a rotating seasonal menu, so that, you know, you buy them while they're on the website, and then once that quarter is over, once that season is over, like you have to wait until the next season that they're up in order to buy that character. If not, you're going to see new characters come in for the next season, and that's when you can buy those. And I think it would make things more manageable for us, like on a business side, production side, and also it would allow me to innovate and make new characters, which I really want to do. I would rather be 3D modeling right now. Actually, I have a client project to work on, and so that is also something on my mind. It would give me more time back to do things. So what do y'all think about a seasonal rotating menu? What would you like to see on that menu? If we do that rotating menu, a question that has come up is like, would we do the earrings seasonally, or would the earrings be a year-round thing, like full menu? Because they're easier to paint. Articles take a while. They take a while to paint all the pieces and then assemble and then package and then all of that. But the earrings are kind of like slat paint, attach hardware, gloss finish, done. They're pretty simple. I engineered them that way on purpose. What do y'all think about that? What do What do you think? Good idea, bad idea? What can help with that? Have you seen something similar? So on and so forth. So I'm looking for advice on that, as well as the big articles, because that is another thing. Like, if we need to make bigger articles, that's going to take up space on the print plate, and it's going to slow us down. So we have a lot of questions going forward. So seasonal rotating menu is like another talking point, that it's not set in stone, but it's something that I'm thinking about, and I might start next year with the first quarter. So let me know what you think about that. And the last talking points, I guess, is the upcoming shows that we got going on. Just want to tell you about a few things to look forward to. So for the month of September, we don't have much going on. We have one recurring show that we go to, the DFW Young and Social Board Game Night, which happens every third Friday at the DFW Young and Social Club, where they have a library of games, and people are welcome to come hang out, meet new people, play games, and just enjoy time for like 3 hours. I think it is 7 to 10 on the third Friday of the month, so it's a Friday night, 7 to 10 p.m. DFW Young and Social Board Game Night. We'll be there. So that's the month of September, basically. October starts to pick up a little bit. We've got Industry Giants, which is it's a conference. I wouldn't call it a convention, but I would say it is a convening of animation and VFX professionals in the industry of animation and VFX, 3D design, 3D modeling, game design, concept artists, all kinds of like illustrators, environment artists, riggers and stuff. So that's a cool conference to go to. It's held at UTD. It's going to be on October 4th, I believe. And that is, tickets are on sale to that right now. We're going to have a little small table there. And like I said, it's more of a conference, not so much a convention, but there are vendors. We are one of them. It takes place on the campus of UTD in one of their buildings. I'm spacing out on the name right now. Anywho, it's pretty cool. You'll be surrounded by a lot of portfolio reviewers. So people there, like if you're looking for advice on your portfolio as to like what you could do better to get hired in the industry, this is like the place to go. Pretty cool. And you're going to hear some keynote talks from professionals on the state of the industry basically as they see it, and some big talking points and things to look out for, what's on the horizon, such and so forth. So really cool. Animation, VFX, if you're interested in that, go to Industry Giants and check that out. The following day, we are doing something called the Get Lit Book Fair, which is October 5th, and that's a grown-up book fair. Basically, it's trying to recreate the feeling that you might have had when you were a kid and the bookmobile or the book fair came to school, and it was that day to just like look at all the cool, like, I don't know, gotta change my laundry. Anyway, the Get Lit Book Fair is their mission is to like try to recreate that feeling you had as a kid when the book fair came to school and you were like all excited about getting new things and books and all kinds of trinkets and stuff. It's trying to recreate that with the fact that you're an adult and you can drink. So they have alcohol there, as well as authors and anybody who's like connected to the writing industry. Authors, illustrators for like book covers and stuff. There's vendors there. And so we're going there because we are word related. We are punny, we are adjacent to words and writing, and so I think we kind of fit in, and there's gonna be other vendors there as well. So we attended one, not as vendors, but we went there as guests. So we walked through the door. It was at downtown. The one we're going to is not downtown Dallas. It is in Fort Worth. But the one we attended was in downtown Dallas at the library, the Central Library. and it was pretty cool. It was very packed. There was alcohol there, beer, a lot of authors, book lovers, a lot of people having conversations about books, and people selling things and telling people about their books that they've written. Very cool. Independent publishers. So we're doing that the day after Industry Giants, and that's going to be in Fort Worth at a brewery. So yeah, alcohol, adults. I'm pretty sure it's adults only, but I don't know. I'll have to look at the details. I have no idea. That's happening. What do we have after Get Lit? We have Arts Goggle. Arts Goggle, that's a fun one. That's also in Fort Worth. So that takes place along blocks and blocks of downtown Fort Worth, where the area is overtaken by independent artists who are there just showing and telling and selling all of their art. There's musicians, there's food vendors, it's outdoor. We'll have a tent, we'll have our articles there, and we'll be amongst a lot of painters, sculptors, photographers, musicians, like I said, crafters, tangibles, textiles, all kinds of creatives downtown Fort Worth for Arts Goggle, which is a really fun, really cool event. It's one day. It goes pretty much all day, like from morning till night. Like I forget the times, but I believe it's like something like 10 to 10. So 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Very fun. That's October 10th, maybe? It's the weekend following Industry Giants, which was October 4th. So that's fun. We did it last year. We liked it. We're coming back this year. We're grateful to be there. And yeah. And we didn't have the earrings last year, so we'll see how that works. Yeah, and that's it. Again, the monthly recurring every third Friday, DFW, Young and Social, board game nights. We go to that, so that's going to happen in October as well. And I think we'll be coming up on a year of doing that monthly, which is cool. We started doing DFW Young and Social events, I think, November of last year, of 2024. So in November of 2025 will be a year of doing that one. So that's yeah, we like it. It's fun, and I like a steady like monthly meetup. Just for like myself, it makes things more predictable, which goes back to that seasonal menu I was telling you about. I like the predictability of knowing what's on my plate and what's coming, what's upcoming, and I like less the spontaneity of events that are just sprung upon me, where it's like last minute I have to gather the funds to pay for the booth and then build up the inventory for an event that might just be only like a days away. So I like knowing in advance, well in advance, when an event is coming. It makes my life a lot easier and comfortable and less stressful, so that I can sit here, paint, and talk to you guys about things without like freaking out and saying like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I like structure. I'm a structure type of dude. So yeah, anywho, that's what's going on. I think I covered all my talking points, so I kind of got that off my chest. This is a long video. I'm going to have to edit it down and cut out the in-between stuff, but yeah, thanks for sticking around if you did. If you didn't, well, I got nothing to say to you, I guess. You left. So but if you're still here, thank you, and I appreciate your support. All of the support you've shown myself and you've shown Gabby over the years of doing this has really filled us with a sense of like gratitude and certainty, and thank you. Thank you for sticking with us along the ride. One thing that's kind of like a little irk of mine is like social media. Like, I want to do stuff like this more candidly. I would like not to have to take this video, put it on the computer, edit it, and spend time. It's like double time. It's like I have to do it like this, and I have to do it over there, and then release it. I would like to do live videos, and I can do that on Twitch. That's a whole production, though. I got to set it up and move my computer and everything. On Instagram, though, they changed some requirements where we have to have like 1,000 followers before we can go live, which wasn't the case before, but now I guess it is. So I'm grateful that we are hitting 500 followers, which is a cool like milestone that I feel like we earned. Like every one of you followers that has been on the journey with us from the beginning. We started with 0. Started the account with 0, and we hardly told anybody. We like earned followers through the booths, and it was pretty cool. The first time we like had like 20 followers, I was like, that's 20 people. That's 20 people that like our thing. And we've grown from there. We're about to hit 500 if we haven't hit already. But 500 is just, it's kind of amazing to think about. So thank you all 500 of you who are taking the time to see us at shows and take one of these characters home, show your friends and family, and just give us words of encouragement. So I appreciate you. I know Gabby does. And that's the end of this. I gotta cut this off. I gotta cut myself off so I don't have to edit this for longer than I need to edit it. So thank y'all. I'll talk to you later.